Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. And believe it or not, it is already the first Tuesday of a brand new month, which means we're talking my most anticipated Blu-ray and 4K releases of the upcoming month. Now, it feels like I just filmed this video for June not that long ago, but here we are again, and July is notoriously one of the busiest and biggest months of the year, at least for someone like me, because not only are there a bunch of new releases, and this month there are a ton, but on top of that, the Criterion Collection sale is going on at Barnes & Noble, and of course, Amazon is price matching those as well. So this is just a huge month. I think the Kino Lorber summer sale has kicked off as well. I don't really partake too much in that, but for my money, it's going all toward these new releases I'll talk about today and that Criterion sale. Check back to the channel in a couple days for my Criterion Collection pickups, at least the first outing this time around. So looking forward to talking through these today. Instead of talking about my top 5, we're actually going to talk about the 7 pre-orders I have. But before we do that, we will hit up the honorable mentions. Like I said, this is just a gigantic month. So let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right into my top 7 most anticipated releases for the month of July. So a couple reminders as we get into these honorable mentions. Number one, I have the notes on my phone. So if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at, just so you're aware. All of the prices listed in this video are going to be as of filming. Obviously, Amazon can change on a dime, so everything is just as of me doing my research the day before this video goes up. And finally, I will go through the honorable mentions in release date order. So, and with as few cuts as humanly possible. So, coming in at our first here, because it comes out today on July 1st, we have a Criterion Collection release of The Big Heat. Now, frankly, I don't know too much about this movie. I just know that it's supposed to be a really kind of weighty film noir, and I love film noir. So this is one that I definitely plan on picking up from Criterion this week. Now, I'll just hit up the Barnes & Noble sale, of course. Hopefully, by the time you're seeing this, I will have picked this one up. But looking forward to watching this one. Like I said, don't know too much, but what I do know, it sounds like a good one. So this is currently $24.98 on Amazon. Of course, they are price matching that. So if you want to pick it up on Amazon, go that route, or you can support Barnes & Noble as well. So that is The Big Heat coming to 4K today on July 1st from Criterion Collection. And then we will move ahead to next week. Sinners is hitting 4K, and this is a horror movie that I really want to check out. This one coming from Warner Brothers. However, this month is already so huge, I am just going to wait for a sale on this one. It's actually available streaming already, so I'll probably watch it that way now and just make sure I love the movie. And then, once I do that, and if I do love it, then I'll pick this one up on a sale. But it's not a terrible price. It's $29.95 on Amazon right now, so pretty decent price for what it is. Supposed to be a vampire film, and it's supposed to be great. So really looking forward to checking this one out once I get my hands on it. Next up is one of the most disappointing things I'll talk about in today's video, because it's not in my top 7, it's simply in my honorable mentions, but this is Until Dawn from Sony Pictures, and this one comes out also on July 8th, hitting 4K. This is a movie that I saw in theaters, and I was blown away by how much I enjoyed it, because my expectations were super low going into this. Now, I did play the game back when the original came out on PS4, and I loved it. I had such a good time with it. I've not yet played the remaster that just came out for PS5, but I hear that one's not very good. Lots of bugs and whatnot. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, because the movie is actually done really well. It is surprisingly bloody and gory, which I just wasn't expecting. And so I just had a really good time with this, a lot better than I was really hearing people talk about it. So looking forward to owning this one at some point. But the reason it's not in my top 7, the reason I don't have it pre-ordered, is simply because the price is ridiculous, and it hasn't gone down from the $49.99 MSRP. It's not gotten cheaper than that on Amazon, which is absurd. So once this one hits a reasonable price, say under 30 bucks, I'm sure this one will be in my collection, because I do really enjoy this movie. That is Until Dawn from Sony Pictures, hitting 4K on July 8th. And then 2 more to go through here. Jump all the way to July 22nd. This is a Blu-ray release, kind of a random one. It's called Ash. and it looks like something that's right up my alley. It looks like a space horror film. This one's being released by Shudder, I should mention. So I think, if you want to stream it, you can go that route. I don't have a subscription to Shudder at this point, though. I will have to go the physical media route once I do want to watch this one. This is like I said, a space horror film where this woman wakes up on some planet and her crew that she was with have been all just destroyed. And so, of course, she's going to set out to try to figure out what went wrong or what happened to them, and things are going to pick up from there. So it sounds like something I would really enjoy. And the price tag on this one is not terrible. It's only $14.32 on Amazon right now. So this is one that I could end up just blind buying off the bat, but we'll see where the month takes us. That is called Ash, being released on July 22nd from Shudder on Blu-ray. And then last but not least is the latest MCU film, Thunderbolts. This one is hitting 4K from Disney on July 29th. Now, this one is kind of a rare breed in the MCU at this point, where it had a ton of positive word of mouth after people started watching it in theaters. So really wanted to get to the theater to see it, but honestly, we're still playing catch up on the MCU. I have 3 movies sitting next to me to do a shelf space episode on that are all MCU related films. So the last one I left off on is Eternals. So I definitely need to keep watching, but yeah, just, excited to get to this at some point. But because I'm not caught up, I will end up just waiting on this one, waiting for it to drop down in price, because this is another one. It's going for the MSRP right now, which is currently $43.99 on Amazon. Honestly, that's just too much for just a standard slipcover edition. So I'll hold off, see what I can find down the road here, but definitely want to see this one at some point. This is Thunderbolts from Disney, and this one is coming to 4K on July 29th, and there is a steelbook available for that. If you're interested, definitely check that out. So those are my honorable mentions for July, and I could have kept going, but I tried to cut myself off. So now let's go into all of the items on Blu-ray and 4K that I have pre-ordered, starting with my least most anticipated up to my most anticipated of the month. Coming in at number 7 this month is honestly the one that might fall off the list if I decide I want to cancel any of these pre-orders, but this is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, and this is hitting 4K from Shout Factory on July 29th. Fortunately, I have basically the entire month to determine if I actually want to keep my pre-order on this one or not, but this is coming out from Shout in both a standard slipcover edition and a steelbook edition. The steelbook is what I ended up pre-ordering because I thought it looked kind of fun and cute, so I ended up going that route with it. But honestly, after doing the research on this and looking at the special features, I'm a little bit disappointed. So I'll start with the AV side of this. This is getting the full Dolby Vision and HDR10 color treatment. And then on the audio side, there's a DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 track plus a DTS HD Master Audio 2.0 track. So both options available on this one. But in terms of special features, this is where I feel like Shout really dropped the ball. There is simply one audio commentary track on this from the director, and that's it. How disappointing when you have such a cool opportunity to make this really like the collector's edition release of this, and they just didn't go that route. So because there's only this one special feature, and it happens to be the special features that I listen to the least, which are the audio commentaries, I'm a little bit disappointed with that. So hopefully this one will get some rave reviews. We'll see before the release date comes. But if there's one item that I have pre-ordered this month that might fall off, this would likely be it. But we'll see where the month takes us. Really excited to see this one in 4K. We watched it again recently on DVD, which is the only way I own it currently. And it's just such a fun movie. I love it. So I'm excited to own this one eventually on 4K. I might end up waiting for a sale though, we will see. But anyway, this is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective hitting 4K from Shout Factory on July 29th. Number 6 is one that was a bit random because it just happened to drop down to a really low price maybe a month ago now, and that's when I ended up pre-ordering it. But this is To Catch a Thief from Alfred Hitchcock from 1955. This is being released on 4K Steelbook from Paramount Pictures. So this one here is a movie that I've not seen before, but have heard really great things about it, and it's Hitchcock, so I'm sure it's going to be worth watching. Even if I don't adore it, I'm sure it'll be worth watching like every other Hitchcock movie I've ever watched has been. So definitely excited to check this one out. And like I said, it was kind of by happenstance that I ended up pre-ordering this because it dropped down to $14.99 within the last month or so here, and that's when I pulled the trigger on it. Now, however, though, it's up to $25.97 on Amazon, but again, that price might change as we get closer to the release date. This steelbook, though, I think looks really nice. I know I was looking at some discourse online. Some people really dislike it, others really like it. I enjoy it. I think it looks really nice, and it's just a really good price for a 4K steelbook. So for 15 bucks, this was really a no-brainer for me. And I'll mention this is getting the full Dolby Vision and HDR10 color treatment. And then on the audio side, it's getting a Dolby True HD 5.1 audio track. Like I said, this one is currently $25.97 on Amazon. I was fortunate enough to pre-order it a while back, so I'm only going to spend about 15 bucks for it, but definitely check on this one as we get closer to release. It might drop again in price. So this is the 4K Steelbook release of Alfred Hitchcock's To Catch a Thief, releasing on July 29th from Paramount Pictures. Coming in at number 5 today is a Lionsgate Limited exclusive release. This is Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College. So this one is from 1991, and this is spine number 34 of the Vestron Video Collectors series. So I love collecting this series, but now it's getting a lot more expensive to do so because these are being released exclusively on Lionsgate Limited's website, which that means everything is just a bit pricier. Either way, though, very excited to check this one. I've never seen this movie either. Actually, I've only seen the original Ghoulies at this point. I own the 4K of it that came out from MVD. So I'm looking forward to seeing like what they do with this series from here. Now, I do need to watch number 2, but I'll do that before I watch number 3. I'm just excited to see what they do with this. Now, on the disc itself, I don't see anything listed on Lionsgate Limited's website that says, hey, this is the new transfer or anything like that. However, it's the first time it's coming to Blu-ray, so I'm guessing they've done something. They've done what they needed to make this look decent on Blu-ray. I guess we'll find out once those reviews start coming, but we'll see here. So on the special features front, though, there are some new ones listed here, which is really cool. There is an audio commentary track with 2 film historians, which is just fun on a like cheesy horror movie like this. And then there's 3 additional behind the scenes featurettes. These should be a lot of fun to check out once this disc arrives. Currently, this one is $24.99 on Lionsgate Limited. Keep in mind, though, you will have to pay for shipping on top of that as well. But that's, I think it was like $7.50, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there for the 2 items that I purchased. But just keep that in mind. You have to add that cost in because it's not Amazon. Anyway, this is, like I said, Ghoulies Go to College, coming in the spine number 34 from the Vestron Video Collector series. And this one hits Blu-ray on July 15th. And again, it is a Lionsgate Limited exclusive. So if you want to pick it up, you have to go to lionsgatelimited.com. But check it out there. I think it looks like a really fun release. I didn't even realize it, but 4 of the 7 items on my list today are upgrades from DVD. This one is another one of those. Number 4 is Small Soldiers, and this is from 1998, coming out from Paramount Pictures on July 22nd, and this is another 4K steelbook, and this one looks fantastic. I am really excited to check this one out in person, because I think the colors on this just look awesome for this steelbook. But this is a movie that I've always enjoyed since I was a kid. Now, admittedly, it has been quite a while since I've seen this, but the last time I watched it, I really enjoyed it still. So I'm going to upgrade this one from my DVD that I have of it, which I think I found at the thrift store for like 50 cents. So not expensive to upgrade and just get rid of that one. But I love this movie. It's so much fun. If you are, someone around my age, you probably watched this when you were younger and you probably got a kick out of it like most people did around my age. So looking forward to seeing how this 4K looks on this one. It should be getting, pretty much what you would expect here. The full Dolby Vision and HDR10 color treatment. And then on the audio side, there is that DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 audio track. So should look and sound really good, even though we're not getting Dolby Atmos. I think that's totally sufficient here for what this movie is. Now, the only downside here is that I don't see any special features listed for this one. I can't find it on any of the announcements that we're talking about this, and it's not listed on Amazon right now. So I don't know what's coming. It very well could be bare bones, and I really hope it's not, but even if it is, I honestly will probably still pick this one up. Wait till we get a little bit closer to the release date, and it might reveal some of those special features as we get closer to that. We will see. DVD. This one, as I said, is a steelbook, and it's currently $27.99 on Amazon. Not a bad price for a 4K steelbook, especially when you compare it to something like Sinners, which is $30 for just the standard slipcover edition. So $28 is pretty reasonable, all things considered, and that's why I ended up pre-ordering it. But we'll see how this one goes once we get closer to that July 22nd release date. This is Small Soldiers hitting 4K steelbook on July 22nd from Paramount Pictures. The last of my DVD upgrades is probably one of the most unexpected DVD upgrades that am ever going to do. This is Sledgehammer from 1983 being released on Blu-ray from TerrorVision in conjunction with Severin, who released this film on DVD, 15 years ago at this point. So it's been a long time. And this was a movie that I watched for review back when I worked for a website way back in the day. And this thing is one of the genuinely worst films you will ever see. And it's amazing because of that. It is just so much fun. This is a slasher film, a shot-on-video slasher film from 1983, and it is just as absurd and ridiculous as you would expect it to be, but it is just undeniably watchable. So I would never recommend blind buying this one if you haven't seen this already. Don't just go out and spend the whatever it is, like $35 plus shipping in order to see this one. That, I can't say it's going to be worth it to you. But if you haven't seen it, you can check it out one way or another. I highly recommend it. And if you love it, this is a really cool release because I'm someone who really enjoyed this movie. I've seen it so many times at this point, I can't even tell you. It's absurd how many times I watched this when I first got it. But this one is, like I said, getting that Blu-ray release, and it is getting a brand new transfer from the master tape. Because again, it's shot on video from back in the 80s. And so I'm very curious how this is going to look on Blu-ray versus the DVD counterpart that I've had for the past 15 years or so now. But I cannot wait for this one. Not only with this release do you get the Blu-ray, but it also comes in a hard case and it comes with the CD. It's like a Blu-ray CD combo pack, and you get a booklet in there as well. So you get some physical goods with it too, which is really cool. On top of that, there are new special features, which is just crazy for a movie like this. There are 6 new interviews, 2 new audio tracks, and audio commentary tracks, I should say, and a new making of documentary, plus an episode of a show called Rewind Zone that talks about the movie. This thing is loaded, and the fact that this is getting the Blu-ray treatment, it just blows my mind. Honestly, I felt back at the time that I was one of like the 10 most knowledgeable people in the world about that movie, because I didn't realize like anybody ever even heard of it prior to that. I knew I hadn't before, but I remember I devoured the entire disc, watched it multiple times, and I just felt so knowledgeable about this no name slasher film shot on video from the 80s. And it's just so cool to see that so many people are really excited for this. Clearly, I was wrong, and I don't really know much about it at all, especially today. I can't even remember much about it other than like the movie itself, but I can't wait to dive back into this world. This movie is genuinely the worst film I've ever seen, and I love it because of it. It is so much fun. This is Sledgehammer coming from TerrorVision, and this one is releasing on July 29th. So this is another one I have pre-ordered from Orbit, and I cannot wait for this to arrive at the end of the month. But let me know if you guys are Sledgehammer fans. I feel like not many of us exist, but clearly some do, because this one is getting the Blu-ray treatment. So this is Sledgehammer coming from TerrorVision. Number 2 on today's list is kind of a basic one. This is just a new release that is finally hitting 4K. I missed it in theaters, and so of course I'm picking it up ASAP. I'm talking about Final Destination Bloodlines, the 6th and most recent installment in a franchise that I just adore. My wife and I watched all 5 of the movies leading up to this, over the past month here in order to get ready for Bloodlines, but unfortunately we just weren't able to get to theaters to see it. So now that it's hitting 4K in July, you better believe I'm gonna own this one. And I have the currently have the Steelbook pre-ordered myself because I think it looks really cool, and I'm just a huge fan of this franchise. So as you would expect, this is getting the full Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos audio treatment. Sure, it's gonna look and sound amazing, given that it, a new film. And I didn't even mention, comes out on July 22nd. At least I don't think I mentioned that. But yeah, the special features, it's not bare bones, which is really cool to see. This one does have a audio commentary track with the directors, plus 3 additional behind the scenes featurettes. Cannot wait to dive into those and see what they have to offer. But this one looks really cool, and I'm so excited to see it. The standard edition is currently $37.49 on Amazon, while the Steelbook, unfortunately, has shot up in price since I pre-ordered it. It's currently $58.99 on Amazon, which is just utterly ridiculous. I hope nobody has to buy it at that price, because that's ridiculous. But I was fortunate enough that when I pre-ordered it, it was down to $37.96, a much more reasonable figure compared to the almost $60 that it's at right now. But another one that should probably drop as we get closer to that release date. This is Final Destination Bloodlines, hitting 4K on July 22nd, I think? Yes, July 22nd. And my number one most anticipated release of the month of July has to be Frailty, hitting 4K from Lionsgate Limited. And this, of course, is another limited exclusive to the Lionsgate Limited website. And it is the 4K Steelbook, and it looks gorgeous. I love this movie. I'm a huge Bill Paxton fan. We did a whole podcast arc about Bill Paxton movies, 10 years ago now, whatever it was. And this was one of those that we talked about, and it holds up exceptionally well. It is a great movie. Every time I watch it, I just appreciate it more. So there was no doubt I wasn't grabbing this one. Another one that I pre-ordered along with Ghoulies Go to College from Lionsgate's website. But this is getting the full Dolby Vision and HDR10 color treatment, plus a Dolby Atmos audio track, which is really cool to see. But what I think is most interesting with this one is that one of the special things you get with this is a reproduction of Bill Paxton's working script. That is awesome, and I cannot wait to read through that. That is going to be super interesting to see. I think that's the coolest of the kind of new things that are included here. But on top of that, you also get some other special features with it. There is a load of legacy special features. So I think from what I could tell, most everything that was available previously is getting ported over to this one. But there are 3 new behind the scenes featurettes for this one as well. And it just should be really worthwhile given everything that's included here. So this one, I cannot wait to arrive at my doorstep. Such an underrated horror film. I think nowadays, I can't even really call it underrated, but a lot more people are appreciating it for what it is. But back in the day, people just didn't talk about this one that much. And so I love that this is getting that boutique label treatment here from Lionsgate Limited. This is Frailty, hitting 4K on July 15th. And again, it is a Lionsgate Limited exclusive. So you have to go to that website to purchase it. And it's currently $39.99 on their website right now. Not cheap, especially when you add shipping, but it's one that I really think is going to be worth it. At least it's worthwhile for me. You'll have to decide that for yourself, but excited for this release. All right, so before I wrap things up, I do like to talk about monthly costs in all of these videos, and this month is very expensive. If I were to have purchased everything that I've talked about, honorable mentions and my 7 that I have pre-ordered, I would be spending $380.14 plus tax. That's ridiculous. I'm not spending that much. Instead, for what I have pre-ordered is, for the month, about $216.91, which is a lot, yes, but pretty reasonable when you compare it to the, if I bought everything number, if I bought everything that I was interested in. So I'm trying to limit myself as much as I can, but this month in particular is a big one. It's my birthday month as well at the end of the month here, so I tend to splurge a little bit more in July. And then, of course, you have the Criterion sale going on, which I always spend too much money on, but I'm trying to limit that as well. But we'll see where the month takes us. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys are picking up in July. Anything on my list that you think you need to have, or anything that you think I don't need to have that I've already talked about today. Love to hear your opinions on that as well. Let me know any and all of your thoughts down in the comments below. But with that said, thank you guys so much for making it all the way to the end here. I really do appreciate that. And before I let you go, I'll just encourage you all to consume some media today. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you all next time.